And part of the reason why I felt that the Cayman GT4 wasn't right for me was actually 2020 Porsche 718 Cayman GT4. And man, I love this spec. We got the white with the gold wheels and the PDLS lights that gives you the 4 dots. Super sharp front end. This is, I think, the best looking Cayman. This and the GT4 RS. Owner added some forged carbon wrap, and it is a very sharp looking car. This is of course the 982 generation, not to be confused with the 981, the 2016 Cayman GT4. They look similar, but this is the 982. 718 is not really the generation name, that's the just part of the name. And with this 982, we're powered by a 4-liter naturally aspirated flat 6, making 414 horsepower at 7,600 RPM, 309 pound-feet of torque from 5,000 to 6,800 RPM. That's actually with the 6-speed manual transmission. The PDK actually had slightly higher torque figures, but the 2020 model year only came with a 6-speed manual. PDK was from the 21 years and onward. Redline is at 8,000 RPM, and one of the biggest issues with the Cayman GT4 is that it uses this engine from the 9A1 family, not the GT3's 9A family. And that's oftentimes considered to be one of the Achilles heels of the Cayman platform, even with the GT4. The GT4 RS, of course, gets the proper GT3 engine. But the owner has done a few mods here that I think largely help to address this and overcome some of those deficiencies and shortcomings. He's added an M Engineering Stage 2 tune with a Soul resonated over axle pipe, Soul Racing exhaust, and that's bumping power up to around 370 at the wheels. Normally stock is around 350, 355. And he's actually hoping to get it to 390, but there's a little bit of an issue he's having with the over axle pipes right now. Once he gets that addressed, he thinks he should be able to get closer to 390. We've also got these Apex VS5 RS wheels. That's 19 by 10 in the front, 19 by 11 in the back, wrapped in AO52 rubber, 245, 295 section widths. And that's actually the same tire section width as stock. The manual is rated for 0 to 60 in 4.2 seconds, a little bit faster with the PDK, of course. We have strut front, strut rear, and the PDK comes with PTV Plus, that's Porsche Torque Vectoring Plus. Essentially, it uses brake torque vectoring, but it has an electronic LSD. Here, with the manual, it's PTV, not PTV Plus. And the main difference is that rather than an electronically controlled LSD, it's a mechanical LSD, but it still uses brake torque vectoring. Compared to the previous generation 981 GT4, we have 50% more downforce in the 982. And for the first time on a Cayman, we actually have a functional diffuser. In terms of factory options, we have carbon bucket seats. Again, these are the same as in the 918 Spider, Sport Chrono, and those LED headlights. But the nice thing is that the owner actually tilted the seats back, which I think is essential to get proper ergonomics. And I know that I obsess a little bit more on ergonomics than maybe the average person, but it's for good reason. In surgery, ergonomics are constantly pounded into you. My mentors would always be telling me to stand with better posture and, you know, get things dialed in just right, even from your loops, which are these little telescopes on your glasses, to the way that you position your arms, to how you stand. Over time, having good ergonomics is the difference between having cognitive and physical fatigue versus not, and that of course is going to tie into your performance, and that applies to driving as well. Porsche, modern GT Porsches have impeccable ergonomics. The steering wheel comes out quite a bit. With the seats tilted back ever so slightly, I'm in an optimal position here. You can see the gear shift is less than a hand's width away from the steering wheel. We've got this beautiful Alcantara wrap. The owner did add the forged carbon wrap on the interior as well. I think it looks actually quite sharp. Instantly, this does not feel like any other Cayman GT4 I've driven. That engine note is so forward, and that's not even with the Porsche Sport exhaust open. Let's open that up for you. Auto blip is disabled. When I first got into the car, I thought it was enabled because you just have such a precise and natural throttle response. Very easy to rev match. brakes have this firmness, and it's not too grabby. It's actually a very linear build with that firmness, with that braking force, and there's just like no learning curve. If you want to heel toe, it is so natural. Again, it's just so seamless that I thought that auto blip was enabled, and we can actually enable auto blip now, and then give it a, and even that is really just seamless. I'm gonna enable PASM. We do have a damp road today, so we're not gonna really be pushing it. Steering is heavier than I recall from other 982 GT4s. And I think that's actually largely because of the stickier compound, the AO52 rubber. But I like it. The downside though is that with these tires, again, given things like sidewall stiffness and overall tire grip, not getting a lot of feedback through the wheel. Now this is an electronic power assist steering rack, and things like alignment, tire choice are going to make a big difference. So it is a little bit muted compared to other GT4s I've driven, but still quite a sharp and immediate front end. Just not the most feelsome. Now the shifter here, even that with that double clutch, buttery smooth. Again, there's no learning curve. I sometimes will try a double clutch just for the sake of testing out the various inputs, the throttle response, etc., how things mesh together. So dialed. And light effort, kind of longish, maybe medium length throws with a lot of tilting, which I'm not the biggest fan of with Caymans. But this thing feels pretty tight and mechanical, just lower effort, but very crisp delineation between gates, which I very much appreciate. Better than I recall from other 982 GT4s. The engine definitely feels woken up with these mods though. The tune, the over axle pipe, the exhaust, you get that extra noise, a little bit more power as well. And it helps to, I feel, overcome one of the limitations of the Cayman GT4. Now there's a downside. When you're cruising, especially at lower RPMs, you get that boominess, that drone, which the owner says as you drive it and get things up to temp, it'll eventually fade out. Perhaps just another excuse to keep the revs higher and push the car harder. Even though we have strut in all four corners. Such a well-calibrated car, and part of that actually is the diff, right? So with the 6-speed manual, we have the mechanical diff, and the way I would describe that is that it has like a better experience. It's a little bit more natural. You don't have abrupt changes to the diff locking and unlocking. Whereas with the PDK, it's technically more capable. It's like the better tool versus the better experience, right? If the mechanical LSD is the better experience, the PDK with the PTV Plus electronically controlled LSD is the better tool. And it's more capable. You can get more rotation mid-corner and more stability on braking. Think of it as like, you know, a surgeon operating with a scalpel by hand being the mechanical diff versus like a Da Vinci robot surgically assisted being the electronically controlled, technically superior and capable of making these micro corrections and micro adjustments that a human simply cannot. Oh man, the throttle and dude, just the inputs are all so calibrated incredibly perfectly. It is such money. These are going for a little bit over 100K. And man, the driving experience at that price point, if you guys have been following the channel for some time, you know that I've become more and more enamored by GT3s, especially the 997 and the 991 generations. And part of the reason why I felt that the Cayman GT4 wasn't right for me was actually the engine. I just felt like the GT3 engine was so much more special. But when you apply the mods that Danny has done here, you're largely overcoming part of that, at least perceived weakness. A little bit more power, a little bit more front and center, louder, more intoxicating engine note. Although he did note that with the M engineering tune, that droniness is probably due to the valves getting opened up at a lower RPM, whereas on a stock tune, it's like partial open and then it only opens up fully at a higher RPM, which likely is what is circumventing that drone issue on a stock example. Now, sure, you're not getting the 9,000 RPM redline from a GT3. I mean, the suspension calibration for a car of this type, especially with McPherson strut, very, very good ride quality, very good balance. You can feel that polar moment of inertia also right next to you. The car wants to rotate right around you. And I think my favorite part of driving Porsche GT cars, there's the build quality and the solidity and the performance and the sound. But for me, it's actually the inputs. Because modern Porsche GT cars have perfect one-to-one inputs with also flawless ergonomics, and it allows everything else to fall into the background and you can focus on just driving. You don't have to think about, oh yeah, the brakes are touchy, I gotta work around that. No, you just give it the input without thinking too much about it and the car reacts in a one-to-one natural way. Perfectly weighted steering, perfectly appropriate steering ratio, not too darty. Everything is just a joy to use. And even my comments about how the stick shift tilts a lot as you go from like third to fourth, that's really just a nitpick. It's still an excellent manual transmission. You get that amazing clutch feel from Porsche GT cars as well. You got some road presence. You've got some practicality actually with the front and the trunk with the Caymans. I really think that waking up the engine with these mods has done a lot to make the car feel as if the experience is at a higher budget than what it really is. You're getting more than $100,000 or $110,000 or $120,000 experience with a few choice mods. The main cost being not just financial, but the drone, of course, at those lower RPMs. I actually disabled PASM because it was getting a little bit stiff back there, and now the damping for a road like this is right on point. Great body control, single compression, no excess motion, no drama, no harshness, even with that McPherson strut. Modern Porsche GT cars, guys. The 718 GT4 is held in high regard for a very good reason. My friends, let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below. If you want your car reviewed, visit us on jabalandcars.com. Fill out the form on the homepage. Much love, and I'll see you all in that next one.